President Trump is vowing to fight after his revised travel ban is put on hold just hours before it's set to begin yesterday. A federal judge in Hawaii issued a nationwide restraining order rejecting the government's national security claims. A second judge in Maryland also ruled against the president's executive order. A fired-up Mr. Trump slammed the move in the Aloha State at his rally last night in Nashville.
The order he blocked was a watered-down version of the first order. This is, in the opinion of many, an unprecedented judicial overreach. We're going to fight this terrible ruling. We're going to take our case as far as it needs to go, including all the way up to the Supreme Court. We're going to win. We're going to keep our citizens safe. And regardless, we're going to keep our citizens safe. Believe me. I was elected to change our broken and dangerous system, and I will not stop fighting for the safety of you and your families. Believe me. Not today, not ever.
Okay, Dana, so a constitutional lawyer and former Harvard professor, Alan Dershowitz, a Democrat, said this about the temporary travel ban. He said, don't confuse constitutionality with bad policy, and then he went on to say that he thinks it's bad policy, yet constitutional.
And that could be fair, right? But the judge's ruling was 43 pages. It's not like he wrote it overnight. I think it was probably being prepared because, as President Trump said, it is a watered-down version of what they had before. One of the things I think that was really weird about it is that he said it was discriminatory to immigrants. But if you're not yet in America, if you're immigrating, you're not an American citizen yet, so you cannot be discriminated against yet. So it's like a prescriptive discrimination. I don't think that will hold up in court. But you're going to have to deal with these issues with the court in a way, and I'm sure that the Justice Department was prepared for these appeals because they knew that this was going to happen.
They might come back at it. KG, the U.S. District Court Judge Derek Watson, an Obama nominee, also a classmate of President Obama or Barack Obama at Harvard. Your thoughts?
Cozy legal pals, right? So, but again, Dana, I think it brings up a great point. They knew this was coming. They already had the previous executive order, so they're able and prepared to act. They probably already had a draft written, waiting for this opportunity to be the one to put it forward. I'm just so surprised and also disappointed at the amount of, politics involved here. People really pushing for their ideology and, in fact, misunderstanding the law, saying that this is discriminatory when the people don't even have those constitutionally protected rights. They are not U.S. citizens, so therefore they're making a legal claim that they don't have the basis for in terms of saying that. So for me, I think, you would hope at a certain point, I don't see anything on its face in examining this executive order. They tried to address in good faith the problems that people had with it in the past. So they amended it. They put forward this revised one, which should pass any kind of constitutional muster.
Greg, it seems to be like this endless stream of pushback on everything President Trump does.
It doesn't matter what he does. They're going to hate the travel ban no matter what. If they watered it down so they banned travel solely from Vatican City, they would call it Islamophobic, because that's how it is. This is not even political anymore. It is personal. It is the is it constitutional argument is merely camouflage. It's a costume because right now you're dealing with a large segment of our society who are dealing emotionally over President Trump, and they're allowing their emotions to take priority over policy. The Republicans are concerned with safety. The Democrats are concerned with feelings. And I mean, by the way, this happened with Obama, too. There were a lot of Republicans that let their emotions get the best of them over him, and no matter what he could,
and he had to fight a lot in court, too. He got pushed back a lot, like on some of his EPA rulings and some of the, in Texas in particular, judges there would say, oh, I don't think so, and then the Justice Department would have to fight back for Obama.
But Hawaii, come on. This is the same state that tried to send all their homeless to the mainland with one-way tickets. I don't know if you remember that story. I think it was 2010. I'm not sure. But, you talk about compassion. That was their solution to they said, let's get the homeless out of here.
And I think President Obama was in Hawaii at the time of the travel. This judge just made this ruling yesterday. One, the American people spoke. They elected President Donald J. Trump. All this obstructionism. Yeah, I agree with Dana that a lot of it happened during President Obama's terms. We're talking 56 days, though. He's been pushed back on everything he's tried to roll out.
Well, let's just stick with this for a second, because I guess there's a larger argument about everything. Obstructionism, of course, obstructionism is best known from the Obama years. But let's just talk about this for a second. First of all, I think that just as a matter of the ruling, it's interesting to know that Donald Trump's lawyers made the case that you can't look into his mind and decide if, in fact, he's trying to effectuate a ban against Muslims, which is the argument coming from the courts. But the court responded that there's nothing veiled about a press release. So they looked at the press releases put out during the Trump campaign,
During the campaign.
Right, in which Donald Trump has said that he's calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. So in response to Kimberly's
But that's
point,
not what the
it's not
executive
about...
order says, though, Juan. I mean, the executive order, yes, he did make some of these claims on the campaign trail, but what, I mean, so now this judge is ruling on something that a politician said during a campaign rather than what the actual document is saying in policy is.
Because what he's saying, what the judge is saying, and I think and this is, by the way, it's not just a judge in Hawaii, Greg, it's also now a judge in Maryland.
Maryland, yeah.
That you have a situation where a politician is trying to, you know, just dance around the edges so that he can effectuate a Muslim ban.
How is it a Muslim ban?
Well, this goes back to the...
countries that are
there
predominantly Muslim.
There are
that
Muslim
aren't
countries that are not in this ban.
Right,
So
but
I think they solved, they answered that question.
They tried to.
We know what this is about. It's
Right.
about the manipulation of a doctrine so that it's toxic and deadly. And we don't want that in our country. It's about a
That's fair.
poisonous doctrine.
So I thought it was unfair of you to say, oh, Democrats don't care about safety.
It wasn't fair, but I agree, but I still believe it.
How can
Isn't
I
it
love
fun?
you? Let me
Yes,
counsel
exactly.
Wade.
Take that to court.
Liberals saying conservatives don't
Least
care
he's
about
admitting
clean air
it.
and clean
Yeah,
water.
that's exactly the point. It's like they tell us that Republicans are uncaring. We hate children. We hate old people.
Yeah.
So that's my response as well. You don't care about safety.
Hey, we're kidding. I think there are a lot of old people who are Republicans.
All right, let's do this.
But they don't care about
The
babies.
dog
Oh, they
strapped
care
to
about
the top of
babies.
the car.
Those
yeah.
babies don't vote. You know that.
All right, let's do this. Last night, President Trump also talked about building the border wall and took another shot at the media.
As you probably read, we went out to bid. We had hundreds of bidders. Everybody wants to build our wall. Usually that means we're going to get a good price. We're going to get a good price, believe me. Some of the fake news said, I don't think Donald Trump wants to build the wall. Can you imagine if I said, we're not going to build the wall? Fake news. Fake news. Fake news, folks. A lot of fake.
Casey, fake news.
It's pretty
Fake
funny.
news.
He does have a very good delivery and inflection when he says that. You can tell he likes it. But he's saying it, too, because his supporters, the people part of his movement, they believe that. They believe it. He was saying it during the campaign. And every time that he believes that he has some indicia of proof to say again, he says to them, look at this. Fake news. Could you imagine if I didn't want to build the wall? Yeah, I think he's got to build the wall. That's one of the things he's got to check the box on, and I think he's going to do it. And, you know, the rest is going to come down to the details of whose cash register gets hit open to pay for it.
And Dana, putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak, Mick Mulvaney, today budget director, told us that $1.5 billion in this year's budget, $2.6 billion in next year's budget, earmarked for building the wall.
Right, and now they'll have to take it to Congress and see if they can get it done.
You don't think they can?
No, I'm not saying that. I don't know if they can get it done. It depends on how many, you know, they're going to have to do some deal making, and they've got a lot of pieces to put. We're going to talk about that in the C block, I guess, about all the different things that they are going to do to try to get to this budget. This wasn't a big. That's not a big number, $1.5 billion. So it doesn't shock the conscience. So could that get approved? It's possible. It might be tough to get it through the Senate.
1/1000th of the budget.
It's not much, but he better not be Rachel Maddowing us with this stuff. He's got to tell us how. Stop teasing us with how you're going to pay for it.
We're barely recovered
I
from
know.
that,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm still going through that period. But I go back. You know, the simplest way is to crowdfund and crowdsource and crowd build it. You know, make it into an event. Like, you know, when in companies they have those bonding exercises. Just have a big bonding exercise for Americans to come down and build this thing together. You pay a fee. You get a plaque, just like at a hospital. You know, you build a wing for a hospital, you get a plaque. There's a little Perino wall. There's a little Gutfeld wall that's smaller than most
People
walls.
could just like walk over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shoot, we should have built that higher.
Yeah.
Aw.
Or you can use
You can stack your two walls
you can
on
use
top of each
Mexicans to
other.
build a wall. that's part of the way they can pay for it.
Yeah, why not? I think Mexico
Wow,
should pay
wait,
for the
what?
wall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you going to pay them?
No, no.
Look at
Don't
Dana's
worry.
face, I love
Dana
it.
is appalled, but
I have the
take it
best
easy,
seat. I
take
can
it
see
easy.
all of this.
Well, are we going to pay them?
Well, you can pay them.
No, have Mexico pay him.
Well, there you go.
There you
Bingo.
go.
Ron Williams solved Donald
There-
Trump's wall problem.
I'm trying.
Hire
I'm working
Mexicans
over here.
and have the Mexican government pay for it. Bingo.
Well, let me
I
just
love
say
There you
that.
Let
go.
me
Look at
just
how
say.
happy you just made him.
Well, I'm trying. I'm trying to cooperate
Yeah.
here, but let me just say,
Bipartisan solution to the wall. Pay for
Your
it.
problem is Republicans.
Yeah, well.
Dana was so nice to you. I can't believe how kind she was to you, but Dana didn't tell you. Republicans and the Republican leadership in the House and the Senate do not think you can go around and just cut everything and say, oh, yeah, we're going to give billions to a wall.
Do you think he would have? Let's be real, guys. Do you think Donald Trump would have a problem finding $1.5 billion with Republicans who have to go to him and say, hey, I need this in my state. I need this in my district.
There's no
Remember, the
earmarking anymore, though.
Yeah, he does.
But there is
and remember,
campaigning. There is campaigning.
the promise was Mexico is going to pay for the wall.
You just solved that problem.
Well, but I'm just telling you, that was the
Which,
promise.
by the way, is a great idea.
So the promise,
You're
the
so
promise
into
to
it. I
his
know, I can
supporters, to Trump voters, was Mexico will pay for this wall. Not that you are going to pay for this wall, Eric
But,
Bolling.
Juan, it's a way Mexico can pay for the wall.
Oh,
There are
oh,
many ways Mexico.
Juan, you're living in a parallel universe.
I noticed.
A universe where the things you say before the election still matter. Once you win,
Doesn't matter.
the chalkboard is clean and you can start over.
Tabla rasa.
That's what it means. I never knew what that meant.
Yeah, blank
Clean the
slate.
table.
Blank
Tabla
slate.
blank slate.
John Locke.
Yes. Well done, Kimberly.
All right, can we
you.
go?
You want out of here.
I want more Latin phrases.